All right, I think I should already be live. Let me just check to make sure. Okay. View your channel. Okay, yes, we are live and good to go. Let me pop chat out and we can get started just hanging out. All right, today's a real chill day. Probably going to be one of the shorter streams I do, as you know, Friday is always kind of the end of the week that has me pretty wiped out. But I love just hanging out and chilling with you guys. Cube and Dre, what's up, bud? I haven't seen you in a while on here. Glad to see you on, man. Always loving your feedback on everything with when you're watching the members videos. Like, I really like your comments and stuff. What's up, Grumpy? Welcome back. All right. Thank you, as always, guys, for being loyal viewers. I don't think that gets appreciated enough by us as YouTubers. That we always praise those who show up often. Let me come on, chat capture. Okay, give me just a second here. Oh, no. It said chat and chill, so I grabbed it. Okay, there we go. Osaka Shogun, glad to see you on, man. I see you're always very active in the dang it, I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. I always see you active in the Discord, so I really appreciate that, man. But I'm glad to see you on here as well. So thank you, man. Thank you. All right. And Adam, dude, what's up, man? Welcome back, man. I'm always happy when I see returning people. We're talking about just about everything today. If you see me constantly touching stuff down here, hold on. Actually, this camera kind of could be in a better place. I'm kind of just putting together. Oh yeah, that's way better. I nailed that. I'm just kind of I'm putting together. I got like a bunch of stuff I've been working on over the week when I get home at night. Oh yeah, you can't see anything. It's way too bright. Oh, I know why. Why do I have all my lights on? Hey Alexa, turn off living room and kitchen. Hey Alexa, turn on mood. There we go. Too bright for nighttime, dude. I always put it down to this. Yeah, anyway, probably does it show up better now? I'm just working on, this is our module booklet for all the quests that my TTRPG group's been playing. Don't worry, we're not doing anything with TTRPGs tonight, but I am just kind of like gluing and pasting stuff in here. This is kind of like how I document and build, world build. Whenever an idea hits me in the head, I get severely injured and have a medical emergency. Oh shoot. I just knocked that into the trash. Hello, Butter. Is that like brother, but like with like someone's messaging me at the same time? Seen this channel yet? Hold on. The Candle Man. Wow. No, but I need to check it out. Okay, give me just a second. Like, I need to check it out. Okay, it's just my friend. You guys know him. It's Dan Lee from Cursed Urban, the Cursed Urban channel. He found like a really good analog channel I've never seen before. We always try to find like something new in horror and everything like that. So we always hit each other up when we find like another good horror channel. And he definitely found one. That one's looking pretty good. I'll check that out later. I actually recently picked up a pretty decent horror game, Japanese horror game. I hope I don't. The name's like really long. The Urban Legends Dissolution Club or Group. Hold on. We got to open up. We got to open up. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here, guys. How's it going on? Okay, good. We're getting really good streaming at this point. Okay, give me a second on Steam. I got to open it up and check out what the name is. I just picked it up last night. Come on, open up the full screen. All right, whatever. I don't need it. Library. Oh, Center. The Urban Legends Dissolution Center. I think it may have been made somewhere in South America, but with like a really great knowledge of all things Japanese, and it's pretty interesting so far. What? Oh, hold on. I need to look at this real quick too. Okay. May 29th, 2025. Night Rain. Night Rain's coming out May 29th. Let me tell, my son wants to know too. Hey, Maki. Night Rain's coming out May 29th. So almost as soon as summer starts, it's coming out. Yeah. That kind of sucks though, because we'll be in Japan at that time. And I'm not going to I've already decided I'm not bringing my computer to Japan this time. That was way too much work. I try to travel kind of light in between here and Japan, and I brought like 2 computers, an iPad. I just like too much stuff, man. Hold on. I had something in my eye there. Okay, good. Now I'm good. Okay. Jason, what's up, man? Welcome back, dude. How's the art been going with your side project and stuff? I hope good. I'm pretty horror myself. Yeah, I'm very big into horror. I skipped the TTRPG stuff. Nothing against it. Oh, it's just not my cup of tea. Yeah, totally, dude. I totally get why people aren't into the TTRPG stuff. I think if you're not playing it or you're not like really, really into TTRPGs, it just would be like mind-numbingly boring. It'd be like if one of my favorite YouTubers decided to talk about like Super Bowl, I'd be like, okay, I'll skip this one. No, no offense to people who like Super Bowl, no offense to football or anything like that. I just not a sports guy. But anyway, oh shoot. I guess all we got going on in Japanese news these days is that Shigeru and Trump met up, and apparently Japan's getting a bunch of weapons from America delivered to them, which I know some people always get like really upset about. They're like, aren't they a peaceful nation? Aren't they not supposed to have a military? It's like, yeah, you're right, and they still don't have a military. They have a self-defense force, but also when North Korea keeps hurling missiles at you, you kind of got to be ready. Like, you can't really blame them for that. What do you think would have happened if Japan completely disappeared all of a sudden? Speaking how what other country? Like, do you mean like if they got wiped off the map from World War II, or just like do you just mean like theoretically some sort of mystical disappearance of Japan happen? I think people would be number one utterly horrified. I I think it would be more about like how can a complete country disappear from the map? I mean, of course we would mourn the loss of an entire country and people. I also, like there's quite a bit in the art world as far as like entertainment is concerned. I think we'd miss out on a massive amount. I think people don't give Japan enough credit to realize how much their art influences a lot internationally, especially now in the modern age. I think 1980, 1990, Japan didn't have a massive push on influence, but I think once we hit 2000, like, I mean, you started to see like American remakes of Japanese horror movies, like anime and manga started to get more heavily translated. And then after you get to like the 2010s, I mean, the influence has been massive. I was stuck watching my friends play StarCraft for 2 hours once, and I developed an aversion to RTS games from that. Oh, I can understand that. Ugh. With TTRPG, there is no aversion, just got other stuff I could be doing. Yeah, I mean, I think like if you're not big into like lore or fantasy stuff, especially mine's like really grim dark, so I could understand how people would be like, "Oh, this is a bit too much." Like it gets kind of really grim, and it's like, isn't life grim enough? Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, I mean, like if I even had to watch somebody play StarCraft, I'd be bored out of my skull. Ugh. RTS, I'm not a big art. Well, sometimes RTS is okay. People are asking me if I bought like the new Civilization, and it's just kind of like, nah.
My kids at school, like one of them bought, him and his dad are playing Civilization. What is it, 5 now? Is that the newest one? And he was like, "Have you ever played that game, Mr. Ackerman, Part 5?" I'm like, I started to play it back in like early 1990." And he was like, "No, it didn't. They didn't have it back then." And I'm like, "Yeah, they did." I'm like, "It's a really old game, dude." Actually, when did the first one come out? Um, Civilization. Oh, it's 7. Well, Hope's Part 7. Wow, I was way off on that one. Civilization 1 release date. Yeah, 1996. So I guess it's not the early 90s because you hit that 1995 hump. But yeah, 1996. I definitely played the hell out of the first Civilization. Japan is apparently building a disaster-proof system for all scenarios to protect Tokyo. The engineering looks crazy. Have you ever seen what their flood tunnels look like? Like they're insane. And also like the stuff they build for earthquakes is like hardcore. Like they have these testing centers where it's like I always say Japan is not super high tech, but I feel like when it comes to building structural integrity for disaster proof buildings, like they're pretty good at it, aside from their individual houses. Dude, T Dog, thank you, man. T Dog, big ups on you, bud. Thank you a bunch. First of all, just glad to see you here, but the five memberships, man. Thank you so much, man. That's a decent chunk of change. You're looking at almost $20 right there. So thank you, man. Um, yeah, T Dog, you rock, dude. Owned. Man, how am I still connected to owned? I gotta disconnect my. Do I actually have the sound turned off right now? No, I have sound turned on. Yeah, T Dog, much respect. Those flood tunnels look. Yeah, aren't those flood tunnels nuts? Damn, dude. Dude, actually, sorry, I totally forgot. I have food cooking right now. I need to go. Well, it's not cooking right now, but I need to heat it up and get ready to eat. I haven't eaten anything, and I was like, why does my stomach feel so weird? Oh, because you haven't eaten anything today, Scott. Let me just get it started, and then I'll come back here and, as always, munch ferociously into the microphone for all you ASMR fans. Maki Bobo, what you doing? That's okay. Um, I actually, I'm coming back for a second. It's going to be done in a minute 30 seconds. So it's kind of like by the time I sit down and get rested again, I'm going to have to jump back up and grab it. But I do need to clear this stuff out of the way. So it's better I just do it this way. I need to get this finished up. So glad to be doing both this, just chatting with you guys, hanging out. It's kind of like the highlight of my week. Is just hanging out with you guys. I really love this. Um, but it's also just fun to like exchange ideas with you guys, get suggestions for future videos. I'm actually going to be talking about a comment I got from a viewer named Snaken, who I've seen on videos in the past and comment, and he's got a great idea about like, um, like one thing I always worry about, like this is connected to the same thing, is like I see because I work with um, kids every day. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Let me grab my food and I'm going to sit down and talk to you. All right. I'm coming. Chill. Hey, Maki, I need you to take care of your bowl and your ramen. Please clean this up. Otherwise, Meadow's going to show up and yell at you. Hey, Mama, come on, soon. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh, almost kicked my entire chair over. Okay. Oh, okay. You actually a Chinese spy? No, I am not. I'm. Let's not say Chinese spy right now. Okay. All right. Nobody's angry at Chinese people. We're angry at the CCP. The world is filled with wonderful Chinese people who are not fans of the CCP. So I want to make that very clear. Love Chinese people. Love their traditions, love their art, love their history. What I hate to see is how the CCP treats them. It's unfair and sad. Dude, hot wings, dude. One of the main, I probably eat them so much. Like, you guys see me eat them almost every Friday, right? Like, I had 15 years of being unable to get hot wings, so I'm making up for it. Plus, just, I need a bunch of protein. I always try to get a load of protein down, and this always makes me do it. Can you do more chat/draw video? Heck yeah, dude. Oh, really? Okay, you like those, T-Dog? Yeah. Okay, T-Dog. I was thinking, so my new schedule's kind of changing a little bit. I'm definitely streaming every Friday unless I have work Friday night, which next week I do have work on Friday night, so I have to work till 8:15 at night. So I don't know. If I have the energy, I'll do it, but I've got to work a 13-hour day on Friday, 13 and a half actually. So it's going to be a rough one, but my new schedule is probably going to be like Friday night chat and chill out, Saturday TTRPG, and then once that finishes, just hang out with you guys. And then Sunday, I really would like to stick to draw and just talk about stuff. And maybe I can make more members videos like that, because members video, I really, I talk about a lot more personal stuff. If you guys are wondering ever like why people are members, they get an extra video every week. Some are like up to an hour and a half long, and it's just me kind of talking about some really personal stuff. Like last week, I talked about dealing with ADHD and trying to learn Japanese, like how difficult it is. So I'll probably make a few more of those where I'm actually talking. What was I talking about before I went to go get food? Could anybody remind me? Discord link. Thank you, Jonah. Nothing pisses me off. All right, that's good. Hellfire Club. I have seen someone wearing that before. Yeah, it's from Stranger Things. It's just kind of like their Dungeons and Dragons roleplay group. That's why I like it. I'm not a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, especially now where they've like cut out orcs. I don't get it. All right. Let's see. All right. Can you? Greetings and salutations. No name. Welcome back, man. I'm loving seeing all the returns. I really like it. Makes me like super happy. All right. Let me move this out of the way so I can get through chat a little bit better. I want to make this. No, wait. I can't do that. Can I? Wait, maybe I can. Hold on.
Actually, that would be a lot better. Make it way easier for me to see. No, it stretches. God, I hate that. Dude, YouTube's got to do something about their chat system. It's not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to move it over to here so I can see better. Oh shoot, now what did I do? Yeah, it's such a bad chat system. Like there's no way to make it so you can like erase the background unless you're doing the vertical recording. It's very, very archaic. Season 5 ASAP. I liked Stranger Things a lot at the beginning. Like I watched every season, and then like the last one I started to be like, they're getting kind of old. Like they're not kids anymore. They're like definitely all adults now. And remember what was the one star, the one kid, he's got the cleft palate. He said more main characters should die. He's smart. He knows what he's talking about. Not that I want to see characters die. HT, thank you for logging on, man. Hey, welcome back. I think HT, you've been here before, right? I'm pretty sure. Andy, oh no, these are people who are gifted. I was like, wait, who are all these people who just signed on? I just want to make sure. Oh, Mr. Boot, what's up? Japan is apparently built. Oh no, I already said that. I read your comment, but didn't say hello. I always want to make sure I say hello to everybody because it's super important. Okay. Would you be willing to translate a family heirloom of mine? I can try. If it's super old, like okay, so there's a kanji before kanji called ganji, and I've said I could translate stuff before in the past, and then I realized sometimes people would send me this stuff, and it would be like so old that even like I'd ask my wife to help me, and she'd be like, "This is like writing from before, like even my grandmother was born. I can't read this kanji." So I'll do my best. I promise I'll help you no matter what. But if it's like mega old, like I don't know how long it's been in your family, maybe I can, maybe I can't. Recently I had a client who I did a commission for, and they had a vase that had ganji on it, and they're like, "Hey, now that you've done this, like, can you come to my house and help me translate this?" And I was like, I can try. And then I ran into the same problem again, where it's like Sanskrit almost, like it gets into like even archaic words that just aren't used anymore, like God, what's the one word? Oh, God, I forget what it's called, but it's the word for a cave where you take old people to die and stuff. Like smart as a dart. Oh no, God, I hate that. Kids in my class say that stupid thing all the time. I sent on Discord from the 1940s, maybe okay. Let me check it out. Well, actually, no. Let me not do this live. I'm gonna keep it on red so that I see the red dot and remember to do it. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things is complaining about the internet revealing her salary for her next. Okay, I mean, yeah, like you're a public figure, so like, I mean, I'm sure she's crying all the way to the bank with that being revealed. Like, who? Kind of hard to feel sorry for you. Okay, remind me later. Give me just a second on one other thing. I want to check. Okay, give me a sec, because there's one thing that always, sometimes it pops up, and what is it called again? Vantage, right? Yeah, I knew it. It's on again. God, I hate that thing. Lenovo Vantage. Man, oh man, whoever created this thing is dumb. Dumb and a half. Ugh. Okay. Why Lenovo Vantage? Okay. You can read it live or show. I don't mind. Okay, I just because it's family thing. I thought like that's not cool if I just start reading family stuff out. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, and I need to get you. I finally have a good idea for the monster. I had a kind of one. Like I had one for the face, but I was a little bit confused on what to do with the body because there's a lot of there's so many aspects. But I think I have something good. Oh
Oof, oof, oof. First of all, this thing looks sick, but ooh, ooh. All right, give me a second here. Let me save it first. Save. This thing looks sick. Dude, I like the artwork and everything. Dragon and a tiger. Nice. Okay. Let me check with the kanji that I've been saving for. I've been trying to study a little bit more of it since I've been taking lessons. One of these was just recently, but it might be different because if the bushu changes, it changes the whole meaning. Give me a second here. Let's see. Here's my kanji list. Okay. And this is like, what exactly was this? Was like a flag? Or a... What was this thing? Because I can't fully tell. Like, looks like canvas. Oh my god, the Rising Gaijin talk. I almost I was like, should I have talked about that live? I was just like, who cares? Man, oh man. God. What a time that was in Japan. All right, let's see. It was all okay. Oh, there's a name for these flags. They're meant as morale. Okay, that would make sense. Okay. The closest I can translate, because some of this is like super old, but it's kind of like, first of all, it talks about what the color is, that it's like this kind of color is two holy colors, like if we don't have a name in English, like the closest I could translate in English would be like I guess like off-white, or like the color of magnificent. No, magnificent's not strong enough. Like holy, like religious, like white, like I guess patriotic white. It's like, this is a keepsake of your national colors. Like, don't lose it. Always keep this with you. The stuff at the bottom, I'm gonna have to ask my wife about the stuff underneath the Rising Sun. What's really interesting about this is, you said this is World War II, right? So this is not the old school flag. And that's what they were really proud of back then. And that flag's been like kind of erased from Japanese. How late am I? We're just finishing up now. Guys, have a great rest of the night. We'll see you later. No, I'm just joking. We just started Non-Winner. You're good. Don't worry. I finished. More Chinese than Japanese. Yeah, okay, let me see. I got to look at it a little bit closer. Yes and no. I will say one thing that some of it's very Japanese, though. Like, for example, you've got the carp whiskers, and the horns. I will say the beard is not as strong on the dragon like it would be in the Japanese version. The tiger, is the tiger kind of cut off? Hold on. Oh, I see a little bit more. Oh, here we go. Oh, the tiger is definitely really Chinese. Yeah. The dragon is kind of like in between, but like the tiger looks like super Chinese style tiger. You know why Tiger and Dragon, right? Because they're considered like eternal war. So like it's like fight forever, like never stop fighting, like die fighting pretty much. Oh, and there's like a bunch more written under here I didn't see on the bigger picture. Oh. I'm gonna have to ask my wife to help me out on this one. The only part I could read is the stuff like up kind of almost above the rising sun, where it says like this is like a holy these are your holy colors of your country. Keep these with you always. But the other stuff, it's like because it's like really esoteric writing, like, and when I say esoteric, I just mean like the handwriting style is esoteric. And some of the Bushu are kind of like faded out. Maybe my wife will know. This is really cool. One thing I've always asked my wife, she said, like, is there any artwork? Like her father used to collect a bunch of artwork, and she said, like, like some of it, after her mother dies, not that I'm wishing for an expedited death of her mother, but when she dies, like they're going to split up the father's artwork collection. And I've asked for all the no masks if I can. They're super cool. They're amazing looking. I can't wait. I think I did a video in the past showing some of them, but like it's such an amazing collection. It's the mother doesn't use them or have them with her or anything like that. It's actually like at a shared storage space. But God, they're so cool. Dude, you did Non-Winner? Dude, Non-Winner said he went out and pitched my channel a couple different places this last. Dude, thank you. Dude, seriously, thank you. Like that is a massive win. For somebody to do that, to go out of your way to talk about my channel other places. I really, really, really appreciate stuff like that. Any YouTuber would pray to be blessed by fans that would do such a thing. I don't do much promotion of my channel at all these days, so any little bit really helps. I kind of feel like I love this channel. I do. It is the heart and soul of who I am as a YouTuber. There's no question about that. But I do feel like it's run its course. And the beautiful thing about it, though, is even though it's run its course, I'm not stuck with a dead channel. I'm consoled by a group that has stuck with me for 15 years that are just like awesome, amazing, intelligent, empathetic, caring viewers. And even as I see, like, I don't know if you guys notice, but I lose subscribers every week. I literally lose subscribers every week. And if you're wondering why that happens, if someone doesn't interact with your channel for over 2 years, they're actually kicked from your channel. And so every time I update, YouTube checks like who's checking this out, and it just scrapes off another round of viewers where it's like, okay, all these people, they just hit their 2-year time limit, they're gone. And I get it, whatever. And sometimes it's also people who have like their accounts been inactive. It's not just based on my channel, but like every time a channel that has videos activates, they check if there's any like dead profiles that have just like not been used for ages or haven't interact for a certain amount of time with your channel, and they just either scrape them or delete them. And so you lose, when you're like a channel as old as mine, you lose viewers every time. Why am I blurring out? But that's the give and take of YouTube. But the amazing thing is I'm always able to keep wonderful people like you guys doing awesome stuff. Dude, the masks are so cool, Jonah. I can't wait to share them with you one day. Bananas and pancakes. I accidentally slipped in some BS. Okay. Yosegaki Hinomaru. Oh, Japanese. Okay, cool. Hey, wait, what else did you send me, Non-Winner? I got all those I talked about last week when you said you sent all those extra templates for the background. I got them and I looked through them all. I said, yeah, like I really like them. I remember what you were talking about before you went into the kitchen. Something about a survival. Oh, that's right. It's actually kind of more like a old school sort of text-based game. Not totally text-based, but it's kind of like World of Horror. If you guys played that Japanese game, which I feel like that game was a massive disappointment. Bad UI, incomplete game that supposedly is finished. You have to pay 2,000 yen for, which is like almost $20 now. Imagine if that game was actually completed, was given multiple storylines, was much more simpler to understand, much more simple to understand, and had more compelling characters that you grow attached to. I learned that just from playing the demo, and the demo goes on for quite long. Anyway, it deals with a lot of like urban legends in Japan, and very interesting characters. That right away after I played the demo, I was like, all right, I'm going to stop playing this because I want the whole game. And so I'm going to start it up again. I'll play it from the beginning, and you guys can watch. Maybe I'll do it later tonight if I feel up to it. I don't know. Sometimes when I hit 9 o'clock on a Friday night, I'm like ready to pass out. We'll see. We'll see how I feel after I eat. Sometimes after I eat, my body like powers down for the night. All right. Did I see any sumo matches while I was in Japan? I only got to see one, sadly. And you know what the worst part was? The one I went to go see, I forget what the place was called that I went to, but it was during the summer, and it was like partially outdoors. Like it was like wasn't totally sealed up, the building. It was a very old building. And so like they had like kind of space coolers kind of halfway blowing, but mostly it was just heat pouring in from the outside, and it was brutally hot. You have to dress up nice when you go to those. You can't just show up looking like scum. So I couldn't wear like short sleeves or anything. I was dying. Do I sing wings there? Heck yeah, you see wings, man. I love my wings. All right. You were here since I had my Beatles haircut, man. Oh man, I've had so many haircuts. God. Let's see. All right. What else have we got? Have you seen? Are you also secretly a comedian? I am definitely not a comedian. I don't consider myself overly funny. I'd say I definitely don't land a lot of jokes. I think what I say is funny because it's like dad joke stuff where the only person who thinks those are funny is usually the dad. But I don't think, yeah, I'm not really, I'm not quick witted enough to make my channel more comedy based. Also, as I've gotten older, I've been more careful with things I'll joke about. I try not to get too dark with my jokes. I think anything can be made fun of and made into comedy, but if it's something like super dark or super serious, when you make a joke about it, that joke's got to be really good. You know what I mean? Like you can make a 9/11 joke if you want to, but make that joke super funny. Like for example, Dave Chappelle when he did it about like when 9/11 happened, like MTV News was like, we got Ja Rule on the phone and we want to ask what he thinks about 9/11. And he's like, what the hell? Like, who the hell cares what Ja Rule has to say about 9/11? Like, who's there like freaking out? Like, what does Ja Rule got to say about 9/11? What is his thoughts on the terrorists? Like, I know Ryan Boundless is back in America. We've talked about this, Mr. Boy. Yeah, he's actually in Florida too, on top of it. I don't know if he's still living in his car, but he was living in his car in Miami for a while, which I don't know how you do that without becoming ferociously dehydrated. Tickets for the sumo matches are hard to get. Yeah, you do have to know somebody who knows somebody, that's for sure. My wife's dad was super big into sumo, so their family still has connections. Ah, Anyway, yeah, sorry I didn't say it yet, but Mark, hey man, welcome back to the stream, and Thaddeus too, man. Welcome back, man. Glad to see you guys here. Do I ever watch my old videos and feel nostalgic? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, sometimes I'll check, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this theme this week or like this topic. Have I done it before? And like, because I've had like 1,000+ videos, so I don't remember everything. And I'll be like, oh shoot, I have done it. Oh my God. This is like back when Kenny was a baby and Maki wasn't even born yet. We had just bought our new house. Uh, Thaddeus, sumo is such an interesting sport. I'm not a big fan of sports in general, but sumo is definitely very interesting. I remember one of the craziest stories that happened when I was in Japan was like, I can't remember who it was who had a heart attack. It was either the referee or not one of the sumo wrestlers himself, but somebody had a heart attack. And if you don't know, like women aren't allowed into the ring of a sumo match. Like a woman can never enter that ring. And when the person collapsed, the paramedics were women, and like they wouldn't let them enter the ring to like carry the guy out of there. Later, they apologized for that because they realized they're like, wow, that was stupid. Like, okay, there's got to be an exception once in a while, and like they apologized to the paramedics, but at the time they like were really freaking out. They were like, no, you can't come in here, and they're like, how are we supposed to get his body out of here? And they're like, fine, do it. I guess he gets to live just because. And then later, like they made a huge apology. They're just like, sorry, we were freaking stupid. Like, I don't know what we were thinking. But you know, tradition. That's why like that new Shadows, Assassin's Creed Shadows looks so freaking stupid. You can play one of the people who can help you fight is a female sumo wrestler. Never existed during that time, during the 1500s when that game takes place. There was no such thing as females. There is now in Japan. Rarely seen and rarely heard of, and super, super rare. But in the 1500s, men would have like laughed back then if a woman would have been like, "I want to be a sumo wrestler." They're like, "There's not enough food for you to even eat here in Japan." Like, what do you like? They also made like some other stupid aspect of it where she was like this certain type of Buddhist monk, but also a sumo wrestler, and it's like that kind of monk like is a vegetarian. So what the hell is she eating to like gain that size? Like all the rice in Japan, like Japan does have some kooky baluki rules that are just goofy. You got to respect it that they've kept so many traditions for so long. And some of them are so beautiful and so magnificent that you can't help but be in awe of what they've created. But there's some you're just like, okay, guys, might be time to change that one. Especially when it comes to like someone continuing to live, maybe change that one. Triangle Strategy, I've heard really good things about that game. Does Triangle Strategy let you make your own character? Like, does it have character customization? Like, does it let you make your own model? If it does, then I really want to play it because I've heard nothing but really good stuff about that. That game and what was it called? Crosscode, and there was another one where it had this like red-haired character with a sword that kind of looked like Link. I can't remember. Oh, really? Osaka Shogun. Well, happy Valentine's Day. A shrine maiden you used to date. Probably the reason she's messaging you now is she needs to complete the ritual of the lunar mask, and she needs like a male volunteer to put the mask on so that she can open up the Torii gates to the demon world again. I mean, nothing against you, man. I hope it works out, but I'm just letting you know. Oh, Mr. Boot says, is it true you can't customize a food order in Japan? If it's like a really high class place, like you're paying a ton of money, they'll definitely let you do it. But like if you go to like an izakaya or like where else like well no sushi you can because sushi gets expensive, so you can definitely customize your sushi order. But like the kind of like middle grade places like izakayas, tapas, place like that, yeah, they'd just be like, what? No. Like even small things too. Like I've been like, hey, can I get ketchup for my French fries? And they're like, let me check. And they're like, it's goes like gojuin for ketchup. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay it. It's like 50 cents or something. I'm like, okay, just add it. Wow. I guess they just didn't want me to be surprised on the bill or something like that. I was like, just add it. I'll go the whole 50 cents, which is actually less than 50 cents. I know sometimes they crack me up. I mean, I think one of the main reasons is a lot of those places are just like run by like high school students and stuff, and they're just kind of like, come on, man, like I'm getting paid so little, don't bother me. Grumpy, I can't wait till tomorrow when chocolate goes on sale. You're hilarious, dude. I sent my wife a bunch of stuff. I got her some of the t-shirts. Like my school makes t-shirts, and when she wears them in Japan, like people think they're super cool. So I bought her like the brand new ones that just came out. XXL Flasky. It's filled with crystal light. So, she asked if when I'm coming back to Japan, but my passport expired in 2022 and I was busy with the house I had just bought from Cryptos. Yeah. Hey, it's cheap right now. I mean, the flights are still outrageous, but you know what you should do? Be like, when are you coming to America? Um, Take a picture of your house. Be like, sorry, I've been working on this new house I just bought. Take a picture, show it to her, send it to her, and be like, I'd love for you to come to America and see it. I bet she might think about it. Grumpy. I was gonna say the tickets are expensive, like the ticket to go there, but your money is worth more right now. Where do you get those chicken wing? Publix? Yeah, Publix, man. They're so good, dude. They're like always fresh. They'll have like times posted on the box of when they got finished making it. So I always look for like the closest time of when I just got off work, so I can get like really, really fresh ones. Wow, really, Thaddeus? $300 to Japan? That's might be worth it. I'll tell you, man, I got a crazy steal, dude. My my current trip I bought in January. No. I actually got it in December for leaving in June. I mean, always buy it way, 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 way ahead of time. Like buy it like if you can, like 5 to 6 months ahead of time, because the closer you get to it, even 3 months before, it's going to get outrageous. I found two adult tickets, and this is the total, not individual. 2 adult tickets leaving from my local airport, SRQ, which is super close, straight to Itami in Osaka, $2,750 total for 2 adults. It's insane. That was on United. That's an insane price. Last year, I paid about $3,700. I left from Tampa, which sucks. It's the shittiest airport ever. And then I landed in Tokyo and had to still take the bullet train. So it was another extra like $200. So I spent almost $4,000. I got ripped off. You know who you guys should talk to when Erin signs on? I'll bet you Erin, she knows like some of the best prices because she's like a travel agent for a company that goes back and forth between Japan and America. When are we doing drunk hitchhiking from Tampa to Jacksonville? Oh my God. Oh my God. You know, the state of Florida has the highest level of like serial killers, right, Aaron? You might as well just call it like murder trip. Um, I would not hitchhike from Tampa to Jacksonville. Oh my God. Who knows what swamp my bones would end up getting eaten by alligators in? Dollars are strong in Canada and Japan right now. Good, dry, hot one. Really? Non-winter? You must. Would you live in Florida? Um, Wait, what? You need a passport or extended driver's license to fly to other states now? What about just like a regular ID? Like you can't get like a non-driver's license ID? Like there's just like state IDs for people who can't drive. They can't use that? It is kind of weird that you need, but I mean, I guess you should. I don't know. I mean, like, shouldn't you maybe have like some kind of I think identification for domestic flights isn't too crazy. Um, I mean, especially in a country like ours that is like massive. I don't know. I've just I've just always had to show ID, so it's never been a big deal to me. A passport would be kind of extreme for your own country. That'd be kind of weird. Uh, the ID has to have a star on it now. It's called Real ID. Really? Never heard of such a thing. That's weird. I don't know. It's because of illegal passengers like a friend buying a ticket for them. Oh, like illegal immigrants that are trying to like travel across state lines? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the whole ICE like arresting people thing. That's kind of a rough situation. Like some places I understand it, like New York, where it's just like been insanely overburdened, and kind of like I don't know, like I'm not sure why they took on that safe harbor thing. Like they never got rid of that, and they never like. God, I got something stuck like right in my teeth. It's driving me nuts. Let me get a toothpick. Ah. Gecko-chan, don't try to eat my chickies. I don't know, but then there's other states where I'm just like, who cares? Like, let them live there. Like North Dakota or something that has like really super low population. Like, why bother any illegal immigrants out there? There's like barely anybody living out there. I don't know. At the same time, I do understand like we're using taxpayers' money to pay for like stuff for illegal immigrants. Like, yeah. Dude, it's like the biggest. Sorry to do this on stream, but like the biggest chunk ever stuck between my teeth back here. Driving me nuts. It's the only thing I hate about chicken wings. You always get like chicken stuck between your teeth. Hey Carlos, what's up, man? Ohio. Ohio? Is it morning where you're at? If we could get the good immigrants from like everywhere, it might be good, but the bad, I don't know, like saying like, well, I wish we didn't get the bad immigrants or we only got the good immigrants. I mean, how do you even do such a thing? Like, I don't know. What kind of filter? I guess no, there could be some kind of filter where you're able to check like a criminal background and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I have no problem with people immigrating to America. Like, I think it's awesome, that we give people opportunities that they can't in their country, and also that we like give them a chance to escape some of the tyranny that they're running from, or just like the massive amounts of crime that might take place like in their country, which I totally get. Like, why some people want to escape that way and everything like that. Of course. Although I forget what I was watching recently, where it was like these immigrants in New York who were like getting to meet with, I think it was like Congress or something, or like it was like some mayor in New York or something, and they're like, my kids and I can't eat the food that they serve in the free housing you guys give us because we're like this special religion, and it's not like this. Are you you serious right now? Like, come on. Like I understand religion and like, but there's also this thing called survival. Right? I don't know what God you worship or anything, but I think they'd understand if you're like, okay, look, we need to not starve to death. So is it cool if we just eat this for now and we'll, you know, like I was kind of like, okay, you're looking the gift horse in the mouth when you do stuff like that. Um, aren't they supposed to be kicked out? I don't want to take a side on that because first of all, it's way more complex than just saying, you know, we're only kicking out bad immigrants or that like people have come in, unfairly or they're abusing the system. I have to agree with people who are sick of our tax money getting spent on people who are not Americans. Like I'm also with everyone about that. Oh, Deco, what a cute little stretch. Kind of seeing this like USAID stuff, like all the stuff that we were paying for. Now I understand like the thing about like 1 billion in condoms sent to like Hamas or something like I heard that was bullshit, that's not actually true, but well, it's not that it's not true. It's true, but like the amount they said was just like less. But I mean, still, even like they're not actually sending 1 billion. It's only like a couple million in condoms, and it's like, okay, so the amount was wrong. Why? Why are we still doing this? Like, or like birth control in Africa and stuff like that. Well, what? Why? Like, how about we help people get houses in America first? Like, how about we reduce the housing prices and build affordable housing first in America? Like, can we do stuff like that rather than like worry about like safe sex in other countries? Like, what? Even our birth rate in America is starting to fall, so I don't know. I do worry about like just and I'm not saying this is only a Democrat thing that happens. This is Republican bullshit too, where they like obviously misspend or like hoard money or just like pretend like it's doing one thing and another thing's completely happening with it. Like, I hate seeing our tax money go to bullshit, and it goes to a lot of bullshit. Like on both sides, Republican and Democrat, both are guilty of this. Um, but I would like to see a reduced spending on outside of America. Like, why? Why are we doing this when like so many Americans are like, I can't afford eggs? Like what? I don't know. It's such a way more complex problem than that. I'm not trying to like come up with some sort of idealistic, simple version. Um, And like also like, you know, I have kids who go to my school who are like worried about ICE, coming for their family and stuff like that. And that's not cool, man. They're all good kids. They're all like, what do you call that? Like American born citizens or what, birthright citizenship. Like there's a lot of them there. And like, I don't want to see any of those kids get shipped off. Like they're just good kids trying to learn, man. And it would break my heart to see them, you know, have to deal with that. Like that's bullshit. Um, they didn't choose where they were born. They didn't choose what life they came into. Like, um, I don't know. It's not a simple answer. The U.S. is now bankrupt from that stuff. I mean, expect some kind of announcement later on this year, maybe Q1, Q2. I mean, really, if you think about it, like the U.S. is bankrupt from that. So every country is kind of bankrupt at this point. Like if any country, because like they all borrow money from each other's. If any country ever had a like immediate collection on their loans that they have with other countries, they'd all be bankrupt. Like I don't, we're approaching 40 trillion in debt. It has to be devalued. Yeah. No, Ice Cube and Ice Tray Ice T would never ever do that. They're good people. The best interview I ever saw with Ice Cube was he's like, the first time I ever got to hang out with Ice T, I said, yo, man, how many times you get called Ice Cube? And he was like, damn, almost all the time. And he's like, yeah, that's bullshit, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, man, why can't they get our names right? And I thought like, okay, so it's not just like me always messing up who is who. Like everybody does it to the point that they get annoyed with it. Okay. No, Ice T and Ice Cube are good, lovable gentlemen who would never do such a thing. I really like both. They're really cool. They just seem so genuine every time they're interviewed and stuff like that. I feel for people that got soft here in America and now got to go to a hellhole country for real. Kind of feel me? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that's brutal. That's actually a really good point, actually. Oh, the biggest chunk of chicken ever stuck on my freaking teeth to the point I can't go back to eating until I finally get it out. Which is to say things like gold and silver may be reevaluated. Well, I mean, it's always good to keep a certain amount of gold and silver on hand. Even my family does that. Like my wife, whenever she buys jewelry, she always makes sure it's either like legit gold or silver, so it could be melted down in a crisis. No joke. Um, Dave Chappelle said he was mad he was never invited to Diddy's freakouts. Yeah, it's so crazy about Diddy. I mean, I always felt like there was something kind of weird with Diddy. Do you remember when him and Nas got into like a big fight? And I was just like, that's kind of unreasonable of Diddy. Like, what's he doing? Um, and then the more and more people you started to see him pay off, I thought like, okay, something's weird. I don't know. It's so weird to see when, like I said, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely, but like, it really feels like maximum wealth maximizes corruption. Like, how many people have we seen now when they're at the highest levels of wealth? What is stuck in my hair? I got like a piece of paper or something stuck in the arm. When they get the highest levels of wealth, like they become the highest level of like disgusting. Like I almost want to be like, how rich is somebody? Are they hentai rich? Like, you know? There's rich, yeah, there's rich, but then there's hentai level rich. Like, I mean, even people like they always think Bill Gates is so great, dude. That guy's got like some disgusting like skeletons in his closet. No joke, dude. I mean, you know why his wife divorced him, right? Because he just had kept like all these side women like in different places that they would go to. Like he had like a different side woman in every place he went to. Just like, yo, seriously? Like how? I don't know. no matter how rich I became, my wife would always be my like number one, my rock. Like absolutely, like there's no amount of money. Like the beauty of having a family, getting to care for that family and allowing that family, be the one to be there to nurture and love and take care of them and grow old with them. Like that's worth so much more than money. Like there's only so much stuff like money can do. Eventually, like you run out of games and prizes, right? Like I don't like what does Bill Gates' children think of him now that they know like they have a father who got married just for like pretty much like um for image and that's about it, but kept like tons of side women. Like I don't know. Like being rich doesn't give you a pass to like I like at the same time like to each their own, like live your lifestyle as long as it's not hurting anybody, but like it seems like they do get to a point where they don't care if they're hurting anybody. Like look at Diddy. I mean, look at Epstein, right? Like you get all that money and what you want to do is like corrupt the world, like, you know. And you got people like Gates, he like donates all this money to like charities and is like, I'm not gonna leave any money. Oh, hey, get out of here. You're not eating my chicken. Hey, no, thank you, sir. You would be in excruciating pain if you bit into one of these. This is like super hot sauce on here, not made for kitty cats. All right, I love you, and I even love to give you lots of snacks, but I do not want to see you sick, my friend. I love you. All right. But hot wings are not for soft little kitties, okay? If I had a ton of money, I'd be doing the same stuff I do now, going to the no, like going to a strip club. That's fine. I see nothing wrong with that. Even if you were married and your wife's cool with it, I see no problem with that. Like it's men still have eyes, right? And, they're not dead. They're not a corpse. Um, what amazes me is the complete apathy towards modern day morals and the value of wholesomeness. If that's, I guess, it's the best way I can put it. Just like, don't you feel like, I don't know. If you haven't been married and haven't had kids, like, I don't know if people can understand the feeling, especially when it comes to your kids. Like, as a man, you are the male representative for your boys and girls, right? Like, you are that representative. Like, how I've got a fly that's doing laps around me over here. It's getting hot out, and this is always when we start to get like the wildlife in our house. I got to start to get like fly traps and ant traps again. Um, and that's the problem with living out in the countryside of Florida. Okay, so like I'm the representative to show my boys like what it is to be a man, right? Like I'm the number one male in their life. So why would I lead them down a path of corruption? Like I can't imagine. I'm saying like too much, but it's just, you know, I I would want them to grow up and they don't have to get married. They don't have to follow the same path I did, but I would want them to acknowledge the beauty, the wholesomeness, the sort of like life-giving strength of having an equal other, a significant other, um, of sharing the laughter, the tears, the memories, the growth of their children, like just the beauty of like a marriage and like you look back on even the fights and like you look back on the funniest times, on the embarrassing time, like it's so much like it's such a rich history that you get to like say this is mine. It's intangible. and it's so unique to me and my wife. Like, and I'm not saying you need to follow a traditional marriage, man. Like, you know, gay, straight, bi, whatever. I don't care, man. But there's so much beauty in a long-term marriage. Like, I don't know. Like how you'd give it all up for money. I don't get it, man. Maybe, I don't know. I guess you can't speak unless you've been in that situation, but like I've done all right throughout my life. Psst, psst, psst. What? Oh, it's human nature. Every time you reach a level, you need new stimulation. I get that to a certain extent. Like, I mean, I've moved up money brackets. I graduated college as an ultra poor, um, post college kid, living on $5 a week for groceries, eating mashed potatoes and rice every night. And I definitely, I've stimulated my taste by getting better and better at cooking, eating things like steak more often, and enjoying, richer meals and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's such a, I don't know. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. I'm just looking at the world from the eyes of someone who grew up in a very traditional style family. I mean, my mom and dad are still married after, God, I don't know how many years. So that 50 plus years of marriage, 50, 57, I think, 57 years. I had a friend, biggest party boy ever, said he would never have a kid, will enjoy his life, etc. Once his son was born, he said, I don't care about me anymore. My son is my life. Yeah. I mean, before I got married, before I came to Japan, before anything, I really thought I was a guy who never wanted to have kids. I really did think that. Um, I was making this idea in my head like at my early 20s, and I thought like, I don't think kids are for me. Because I remember I had two different friends, and they um, had very young pregnancies, and I watched the struggle, and I thought like, why would I want to deal with this? It seems awful. Like they can't go out, they can't have fun, the kids screaming all the time, they need attention nonstop. You have to talk to them about goo goo gaga baby bullshit, and then I got married. Now I knew like at 30, I knew for sure I wanted to get married. I knew that. Like I knew when I got close to 30, and I got married at 29. I was like, I got to get married because you just I can't imagine going through the middle years and the elder years of your life like completely alone. Some people can handle it, but I mean, even as an only child, and I do really good alone. I just can't imagine it. It just wouldn't work for me. Um, and then, my wife wanted to have kids. I wasn't the one who put the idea forward first. And I just thought like, she's the most stable, most sound person I ever met in my life. I thought like I'm going with her decisions. Um, you know, she's anything I've asked to do, she's been okay and gone with it. And this is the big thing she's asking to do is to have kids. I said, let's do this. We had the first one, and like I'll be frank, like really frank, like when we first had the first baby, there wasn't like some people say like from the second their kid's born, they just knew that was the best day of their life forever. Like I definitely didn't hate my kid or anything like that, but I didn't feel like this super close connection yet for like the first until he probably hit 1 years old. Like I just kind of felt like this is a almost like a device you have to keep checking up on. Like it's very automatic in the sense that you're like, of course, wake up at night and feed it. Of course, like, check its temperature all the time. Of course, change the diapers. Like, it would be incredibly hard to even think of how inhumane not doing those things would be. But then until my kid could like actually speak to me and give me hugs, like run up to me excited, especially when my kid could start to speak for the first time, like it broke everything in me and just said like, no, 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 my life is done. My life's finished. This is his life now. And that's all I'm there for. Even now, it's like painful that I have my other son. back in Japan. And like I try to tell him every chance I get on the phone with him, I'm like, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Like everything you've done has been amazing so far. And I'm saying this because he really does do stuff that I'm like, holy shit, like I can't believe this kid is this smart. And I know everybody's kid is super smart, super handsome, super beautiful, super amazing. Um, I'm looking at it coming from my perspective as a kid who struggled through school. Like I struggled. Um, and my son's like in the advanced classes and doing advanced math, doing advanced everything in a school that like has a super low percentage of anybody ever getting in. And so from my perspective, he really is incredible that he is a product of me. Like I'm just like, how is this kid like this incredible? I don't know. No one wants to listen to this stuff. No one, sorry. I'm gonna go off on a tangent for too long. I don't know. Just I can't I don't know. I can't imagine um not being there as a strong male representative for that child. Like I can't imagine it. What is this? Oh, color assistant. Do this later. Close. I don't know. I mean, there's certain situations that make it impossible. There's some men who are like, literally like they have like abusive wives who make it impossible to live with them, and and vice versa definitely happens. Probably, well, not probably. It definitely happens even more. But then the mom tends to always get the kid, and especially in Japan too, the mom almost 100% of the time gets the kid. But there's no law enforcing alimony or what's the child one? Can't remember, but you actually don't have to pay that in Japan. But I just can't ever imagine being pushed out of my kid's life. Just, I don't know. Sorry, I'll get off this topic. I'm gonna be stuck on that topic forever. Let me catch up with everybody who's signing in right now and talking to me. Azara Ruby, I was the same, never settling down, never having kids. Now I have a house and I am a single foster parent. I would die for my son, but still like being alone, just him and I. Yeah. So like I'm kind of in your situation right now. Like I'm living with my son alone, um, here at my house in America. And I'm not truly with my full family until I get to go to Japan every summer. And yeah, there's like nothing like if if I hear from my kid that I didn't put enough stuff in his lunch and he was hungry at the end of the day, like my heart breaks. Like I'm just like, oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. Like I know for him, he's just like, hey, can you put like even more in my lunch tomorrow? And I'm just like, I'm the worst dad ever. I don't know, like stuff like even little things like that like break my heart, like absolutely tear me up. Uh or like the other day we're walking down the hall to leave work and my son tripped over he just tripped like over his own shoelace or something like that and he hit the floor and like he's 12 now so he just got back up and was like whatever but and even then my brain is like still stuck on like he's 2 or 3 years old and it's gonna burst out into tears and I got to do everything to make sure he's okay and I'm like are you okay, are you sure you're okay, and he's like yeah dad I'm fine, like I just tripped like just a little bit. I wasn't running or anything. I just tripped while walking. I'm just like, all right, are your knees okay? Like you're not even small stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it too much or I'll get choked up. Kids are a blessing and your true heritage. I mean, kids like, yeah, yeah. And the thing, those of you who haven't had kids yet and are just like, everybody talks like this, it's true. You can't, I heard people talk about their kids and was just like, okay, that's cool, whatever. Like you can't even understand it until you have kids. It doesn't even make sense. Like it just um there's no way to like make it make sense to anybody who doesn't have kids. Some people understand because maybe they raised like a younger brother or younger sister or something like that. Like some of those people are like, yeah, of course, I definitely want to have kids. Like I know how important it is to raise them. But people who like didn't have to like raise a sibling or grew up as an only child and like you tell them about your kids and all the wonderful things that you experienced together with your kid, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. Um, but you can't understand it until you have kids. I don't know. Let's see. Forbidden fruit effect. A bit pricey though. Lion's mane mushroom is one of the best things we can buy. Might be an alternative to pharma pills like Adderall. They help with lion's mane mushroom. Where can you get that? I mean, if it helps with ADHD, I'd like to like try it at least. Let's see. Get her a blessing. Worst thing you can tell a person is don't touch this or don't do this without telling her why. It's a forbidden curiosity always wins. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you got to definitely say why, no matter how young the kid is. Gianmarco, what's up? Welcome back. Glad to see you returning to the stream again and again, dude. This is cool. Low poly, Hisashi buddy. Kids in their first 16 months are hard mode Tamagotchis. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that. Hard mode Tamagotchi. Man, honestly, you know, the whole like having to wake up in the middle of the night and feed your kid and like scoop every bit of food so they can eat. That's kind of rough. And like, the fact that like you can never leave them alone. Like you just can't, you can't. That part's not so bad. The hardest part for me was the constant running around to pick them up from multiple places. That was what was really hard, more than anything else. And I guess the fact that you got to get used to like never being alone again. Like, now my son's 12. If I want to run to the store, he's not going to die if I leave him here at the house by himself. But you can't do that. You can't do that when they're like, really young. So like, he'd be like, I just want to walk to the convenience nearby. And he'd be like, all right, let's go, buddy. And it's like super, super, super slow because you got to take tiny baby steps with them and stuff like that. That's kind of more of the hard part where you're just like, everything in life has to go fast because you got to be from place to place to place to get them all over. But it also has to go slow because little kids can't move super fast, right? Damn, split family, that would be the end of me. Nice courage, to be honest. It is hard. It is really hard. People are always shocked that I'm doing this. But there's actually, my wife has other friends in Japan who live the way we do. One is between the UK and Japan, another is between Canada and Japan. And it's mostly because of like whatever market they're in, whatever business they're in, or like whatever culture they're connected to and stuff like that. I've met quite a few Gaijin and Japanese who they're like, there's just, I don't know how else to do it. Like, there's no other way. And I get it now that I've had to do it myself. Like, when I first left, dude, it broke my heart. It broke my wife's heart. We were like crying at the gates. Like, what? What's up, Mr. Squeaky? Come on. But you're not eating any chicks, okay? Go ahead. Come on up. There you go, sweetie boy. Oh, my big softy. My infant survived, but I admit my Tamagotchi did not. We're not eating hot wings. Mailboxes get taken out by drunk drivers and kids with baseball bats all the time until you end up just getting a P.O. box in town instead. Wait, well, how did that turn that dark? That got really super dark. All right. I actually just ordered a bunch earlier. I found a promo. Okay. All right. I'll check that out later, Osaka. Like, hey, can you DM me later just to remind me? Because I want to check that out. I do want to try. Like, I was holding my newborn nephew. I was holding my newborn nephew. I started paranoiding the cat would just jump up. Dude, that's the worst. Like when you get the paranoid thoughts, like the worst, the absolute like worst scenarios that can happen with a kid. Like, I have to stop my mind because it'll get like, I can't. I have to like if I start to do that, like I start to think of like bad things that could happen, with my kid. Like I'm like, all right, stop, put in some headbuds, listen to a YouTube video. You need to stop, or you will make up every bad scenario in your mind forever and ever and ever. And none of them have happened. None of them are about to happen. Stop. I'll destroy my mentality if I do that. I've definitely gotten there before where I'm like in tears and people are like, are you okay? I'm just like, oh yeah. But I've just like moved my mind into a bad scenario for my kid that has never happened. Yeah. Always a pleasure to hop onto your streams. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Gianmarco. All hail Deco. Me, it's my nephew finding my cigarettes and bringing them in the living room when I was a teen. I hated the Il Fuca so much. All the chippies for Deco. I don't have kids, but if everything goes well, we'll try to have one soon. Oh man, wow, best of luck. That's awesome. I think at some point some ancestral thing clicked in our heads. I want one so bad. It's going to be hard, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. There is some brutally hard times. There are some times that you don't even know what to do. You're just kind of like, what do I do with this situation? Like, but the reward is multiple times over. Like all the struggle you go through, the reward is just multiplied over and over and over again. Every year brings more and more reward for having a kid, man. It's just, I can't describe it. I don't know. How did the stream become so sappy? Blah ha 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 ha. Oh, there was a reason you blah ha ha'd. Oh, it's because of Mr. Boots' cigarette story. I got you. Aaron got to ask him because of him, because of a 5-year-old man. The no sleep part scares me. You shouldn't be too worried about that. See, the thing is, I have a really bad sleep pattern, hence my name is Unrested. Like, it's really hard for me to get decent sleep. But I'll tell you what, get woken up a couple nights in a row from a baby needing milky, and you find it very easy to sleep after those first 3 or 4 nights because your body's just like, I have to sleep. I'd say the hardest part for me was I had a thing during the day. Like one of the jobs I worked, I was a Hoikoen no Yoshin, and that's like a preschool teacher. And there's a halfway part of the day where we have to get all the kids to go to sleep. So you would sit down with your back against the wall and take 2 kids and just kind of slowly pat them on the back until they started napping. And trying to stay awake during that time was so hard for me. Like I would nod off and be like, sorry. And like luckily I think the other teachers I worked with knew I just had like a new kid and they're like, it's okay. It's all right. As long as you don't totally conk out, you're okay. Yeah, that was the only hard part. And be careful with driving during that time because you don't drive while you're super tired. Be very careful with that. My young cousin used to steal my grandma's Virginia Slims, and I would slap him on the head if he got caught while doing it. Man, oh man, well, what did he think they were? Probably thought they were like lollipops or something. Yeah, that's right. You always got to be careful with what you're doing in front of your kids. Yeah, man. I don't know. Anyway, there's a couple of things I'm looking for. If any of you do this, I'd like to hire your help. I'm looking, changing the topic because I got to get off of it or I'll get too sappy and I'll just like, I'll get too emotional if I talk about my kids too much. Let's save that for a members video where I do get kind of more emotional into more emotional stuff.
I am looking to hire 2 different types of jobs, people, occupations. Someone who knows how to use Blender. The reason for that is recently I found out a teacher who used to work at our school, still a teacher, just a teacher at another school. He now creates minis. That's like miniatures, TTRPG miniatures on a machine he has. And any of the drawings I have, he can turn into miniatures, which I'd like to be able to do for my game because I want to try and release the game after this summer. Anybody who could take like my drawings and turn them into Blender pictures, Blender STLs, they're called, a .stl file. And the other thing is, what did I just get? I just got like a cat hair on my nose there. The other thing, I'm looking for an editor. I guess like a editor / layout person, like someone who knows how to do good layouts. Or like anybody who's like put a book in order before, like made like an index and stuff like that. I got a bunch of drawings and a bunch of writing that I'm going to put into a book for my player's hand guide, but I'm not good at editing. I can write so. I'm not that bad. I got pretty good grammar. But editing goes on another level of grammar. And the other thing is layout is kind of super important. Like I don't have a great mind for book layout because I've like I said, I've done the drawings and stuff for publications in the past, but I've never done the layout. So if you do any of those kind of jobs, I would like to hire you. Please DM me on Discord so we can talk about it. Tishtar, having children is the greatest thing I've ever done. Yeah, I have 2, and I can't imagine my life. Yeah, and Tishtar, agree with you 100%. I feel the same way. People who haven't had kids yet, they'll never understand what we're saying right now until they have kids, and they'll be on the other side of the fence and be like, "Oh my God, this is what they were talking about." Someone who knows how to use a blender, bro, just plug the blender in and press on. Mr. Boot, I like it. You don't know how to use a blender? Bro, it's so simple. I can edit, but it takes too much freaking time. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Editing does take a lot of time. I've edited some of my own stuff before, of course, like gone back over it again and again and again and again. But this is gonna be for like layout and edit, and I feel like I'm definitely in a situation where I need a second set of eyes to like look it over and actually, check any grammar errors I may have. What would better be laid out in certain positions and stuff. I can edit, but I need to see an example you want. Oh, okay, I can do that. There's actually a book I've heard has one of the best layouts possible in editing, and it's a TTRPG called Shadow Dark. So I haven't read it or played the game, but from what I've heard from other people who've written books, they said like before they made theirs, before they published it, they followed the same layout and editing style that creator did. And so I just plan to do the same thing. Like there's games I really, really love, but like their editing and layout is so piss poor that like I can't even get through the whole book. Like a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, not great. They really don't have like good layouts or like good levels of explanation. There tends to be like a massive amount of like word vomit, and then like all the stuff like where it is like placed between too many different books, so referencing it becomes impossible. And I think they do this on purpose so that you buy more and more things like, oh, now you need a Dungeon Master's screen so you can find everything quickly. And
I'm not looking to like rob my players of all their money. If I happen to make any money while making this game, great. That's an amazing side effect. But my first and foremost is that I actually spread a game out there that people want to play. Anyway, I thought I'd make it to 9 p.m. tonight. I am really feeling it. Like I am feeling crushed. I am exhausted. I did a pretty heavy workout this week, so I'm thinking that's probably what it is. Oh God. When I first started, I felt like, all right, ready to go. Last bit of energy, I'll make it through. But it's always after I like finish a meal, especially because I don't eat all day. And now that I'm finishing, oh God, it's hitting me so hard. It's just kind of like, now go to bed, good boy. Is Adobe InDesign still the preferred software for layouts? I don't think it matters what you use. I mean, use what works best for you. In the past, I was using Procreate for my layouts, which is not really great, but it's what I knew how to use well. You use whatever you want, man. I don't care. Got to recover the muscles, bro. I'm done okay. I'm not gonna like build massive muscle at 45 years old. I just want to like, stay in somewhat okay shape where I don't look like a sack of potatoes hanging over a belt. Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Boot, dude, like hit me up if you're interested in it. I would definitely like to talk to you about getting into editing. It's been an intense week. Oh, yeah. I hear you, Aaron. It was a rough one for you too, huh? Scott, think AI. I'm just saying, I'm sure there's some AI tool that can do it. Maybe there is. I will look into that. I know there's so many like artists out there that are like, fuck AI, AI's gonna fuck up everything. I hate AI. It's like, there's some stuff that's like not so bad, dude. Like, I don't know. I'm not really opposed to AI. I know even if I put all my pictures into an AI and said, now make a new picture from my pictures, it would still be messed up enough that no one would want to use it. Like the hands wouldn't be right, or like it'd be all morphed gooey garbage around like the different lines. I don't know. I'm not super anti AI. You're 45. Yeah, you didn't know that? 45. Be 46 in July. Yeah, I am up there in years. But that is one of the reasons I work out. I work out to keep positive, to like keep my the AI voices ads on YouTube are so okay. Now that is garbage use of AI. I completely agree with you, Nature N. Where it's like, have you ever thought about how great it would be used to use Grammarly? It is one of the best, or like just like videos that are entirely AI. It's like, because the worst part is like it always hits like pronunciations wrong. It was like, this war took place in the year of 1994, and it was one of the most aggressive wars ever. There were things like POW camps and people who were KIA, and you're just like, okay, this does like you're talking about a really emotional subject and time in history, and you're using the worst voice ever for it. Yeah. Ugh. This was a hard week. I want to take a nap. I do. I need to probably sign off. I can like really feel just like a crushing weight of exhaustion hitting me right now. But tomorrow I'm going to be putting out another video. This is going to be about how. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about before I went to go get my food. I remember. I worry a lot about young men, young women who are young adults, right?
not able to grasp a future because either they're lost, mentally like in anguish, too full of anxiety, or just like too worried about how unpredictable the future is, and they think like latching onto Japan will give them a chance to iron out exactly what they want. They read a bunch of stuff about Japan. They have this like convoluted idea of what it's going to be for them, and then when they get there, they just aren't able to adapt to the Japanese structure of society, culture, tradition, etc. I get a lot of writings to me about this, a lot of letters about like, I can't believe my boss fired me because of this, or I can't believe my workplace has to do this every morning. And it's like that, part of it is just because you just didn't culturally, it's a cultural shock. Like, it is cultural shock. Um, Part of it could be just like not doing enough research, but another part of it is just like not being strong enough. Like, I don't know any other way to say it other than like they're just not mentally or strong enough to like push themselves through things they don't want to do. Like, I get it. I understand it. Radio Taiso. Do you guys know what Radio Taiso is? Radio Taiso. Hai. I. Shi. Like, each ni son go. Like, you just like, it's these weird exercises. Like, you do these exercises as a group in the office, and they're silly. I don't think they really help you get strong. They might help you like loosen up a little bit, but they're kind of just like wake up exercises. Not every place does them in Japan. Construction workers do them for sure, and it kind of really makes sense because they need to be limber. But I would get emails afterward. They'd be like, "I refuse to do these because they're so stupid and they don't do anything for your body." And it's like, you're right, they don't, and they are kind of silly and stupid. But just fucking do it. Like, well, like if you're sitting down while everybody at your job does Regio Taiso in Japan, you're almost saying like, I hate Japan. Like, I hate the way Japan operates. Like, I hate Japanese people. I hate Japanese tradition. Like, there's some stuff you're going to think is really silly or really stupid because your country doesn't do it. And it's not silly or stupid. It's just that your country doesn't do it and you're not willing to adapt to another country that does. Like, for example, kids cleaning the classroom. I've had teachers to me complain about that before. They're like, none of these kids actually want to do it. It's so stupid. Why don't they just hire a janitor? And it's like, yeah, you're right. The school would probably get cleaned way better if an adult janitor was there doing it. But guess what? That's not Japanese tradition. Japanese tradition is those kids get brooms, get mops, get whatever, and start scrubbing things down. And your job as the teacher at that time is not to be a teacher, but to assist in the cleaning and tell those kids to stay on task. Fucking do it. Like, don't complain to me about how America doesn't do that. Learn about why Japan does do it and how you can do it to the best of your ability. Stretching is actually very important and good for, of course, absolutely, Aaron. It's incredibly important. And I can tell you the average Japanese person is probably far more limber than most Americans. We could probably pull probably like 8 out of 10 Americans and be like, let's see how close you can get to touching your toes with stretching. And they wouldn't be able to do it and stuff like that. I think making the kids clean is a good thing. I think it is too. It absolutely is. I understand why people are confused, and I also understand why kids try to not do the job. But if you're given that work to do, I hate when people complain to me about, why does Japan let the kids do it? So stupid as teachers that we have to like yell at them to get the classroom clean. And it's like, really? Is it? Because I think it's kind of like awesome that we start to teach them lessons about upkeep on their life and their space. I don't know. The Asian squat is crazy important. Do you know, like, if you can't squat or get up from a squat position, the sooner you're unable to do that due to like just like immobility, weight, size, obesity, whatever, that's like more years off your life. Matt, one of the things that'll really show that you're going to live a long time is that you can still squat and get up from a squat.
I can tell you there's a lot of 80 and 70-year-old Japanese people, probably even some 90-year-olds, who can do that squat with no problem. Anyway, it's a lot of effort to keep myself focused, to keep talking. I love you guys a bunch, man, and it is an absolute joy and blessing to be able to sit here with you guys and just chat about all this stuff. But I am fading. I am absolutely fading right now. And I need to go lay down, and I need to get a good night's sleep, get all my strength back, come back on here tomorrow. And what I may do actually tomorrow, because I want to give this more time of just you guys and I chatting here and talking about things like this, life, Japan, etc. I may do my TTRPG first, sign off after that, and then come back on to do chat and chill, because that's the bread and butter of this channel, is you guys and me collabing together to create the topics that people want to hear and talk about, as far as just this like small cliquish group that we have. But yeah, guys, thank you so much as always for being here. I love you all. You guys are awesome. You make this channel so worth it. And I honestly, I wish I had more days during the week I could be here with you guys just chatting it up. The dream would be I'm on a schedule where I could do this every night and just hang out with you guys, or just sit here and play games while I chat to you and stuff like that. Anyway, trying to even end that sentence, my mind's just kind of like, "Bleh. Love you.